Sorry, guys.
Hey, there he is.
I was eating watermelon. You know how you start eating something and it was just like, it's so good. If you don't put it away, you're going to eat all of it.
Especially watermelon. That's one you start going,
God.
and the next thing you know, you've had like 50 slices.
Oh, I mean, I'm just like it was like 4 pounds of watermelon, and I was halfway through, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. But like, this whole podcast is just going to be me munching on watermelon the whole time.
One of the few foods where you're talking about it in terms of poundage, you know? Like, I just put down 3 pounds of watermelon.
Maybe for you, one of the few foods. Unfortunately for me.
Yeah, I see that, Tums. You stay strapped right there.
How we doing, man? How's things?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
I'm good. We're doing well. Times at Barstool has been good. I know your history with Barstool goes back, quite a few years doing that video with Dan and Dave. I would imagine throughout your illustrious career, that has got to be one of your bigger misses, Mark. You could have had half this thing for free.
You know what? I told him, let me think about it.
I mean,
I'm surprised they didn't kick you off Shark Tank for that. That's you could be sitting on 250 mil right now, Cubes. I know you got way more than that.
Yeah, he wishes. But no, I'm happy for Dave, man. I have Dan, the whole crew, man. I'm glad they all. Hopefully, all you guys made some money off of that.
Yeah, we're all gonna get there. Hopefully,
that's just not easy.
No, and I actually,
not easy, man.
What you said, and I think what your criticism of it, or the reason why you didn't invest was that it's a grind, that like it's a lot of work for only a handful of us to carry, and you're not wrong, but somehow we fucking did it. We just kept on grinding.
Good, man. But let me just tell you something. I'm already fucking rich. I wasn't going to need to do the grind. I didn't need to do that. That's on you.
I love it, man. What's it like? Like at what age were you rich? Let's just lay it on the table. At what age did you say you're rich?
It's all relative. Like I remember I retired when I hit 30.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And I bought a lifetime pass on American Airlines and partied like a rock star. And so it was just like, I just remember thinking to myself, I would walk into bars, right? Because that's what I would do. Me and my guys, it was still some of my best friends, right? We walk into a bar and I remember thinking to myself, I'm the richest motherfucker in this club.
That's the whole point of getting rich.
Now then we did what I thought every rich guy did. I bought a bottle of champagne, got bottles from my guys, and we'd walk around drinking the champagne. Now, at that point in time, it was Frexelnet, which was like a $12 bottle of champagne. But it didn't matter. We tear the label off, and all the girls knew was that we were walking around drinking champagne out of the bottle.
That's unbelievable.
The Fast and Cool Club.
Where was the wildest place you partied during that excursion? The lifetime pass of bouncing all over the place.
Moscow. It's not even close.
Moscow. Is that because of just the drinking? What is it, just vodka and vodka and vodka, or is it like a wild party? Look at him, he's covering his face.
You can imagine. Because they just loved American guys. So I took Russian in high school. Like my grandparents are Russian, so I took Russian in high school. So I spoke just enough to get by. And I got this girl, before I went over there, to help me with my Russian. She was Russian. Turns out her mom was the secretary or assistant or whatever for the mayor of Moscow. Oh, and so it was the shit he set me up with was, even 25 years later, I can't talk about it. It was crazy. I'll tell you one story, right? And so they gave me the mayor driver with the mayor's Mercedes. And I'll never forget, it was October 15th, right? So we're almost to the day here, right? Because it was the first snow in Moscow, which was like even early then for them. And so he took me into Red Square. And so if you know what Red Square is about, right? You've got the Kremlin, you've got St. Peter's Basilica, like this big church, right? And you've got Lenin's tomb. And then there's this big open square area. There's snow on the ground. And he's like, and I can't really understand him. And he's just like, donuts. I'm like, donuts? You're getting donuts? He goes into Red Square.
I'm doing donuts.
And I'm doing donuts in Red Square. That is the honest to God truth. And I literally have video of me inside the Kremlin. So they said, and I had the old back in the day video camera. And so I'm carrying it in like over my shoulder like I'm a tourist, right? And they invited me in. And I'm like, whatever. So they're going to set me up while I'm in this room. And I'm like sneaking in videos of me walking into Kremlin. And I'm like, and it's the mid 90s. So it was pre-Putin. Yeah. And it was just a shit show. All of Russia was a shit show. And so I have these videos of me like terrified that I'm going to get knocked off in Russia.
Dude,
I was going to say,
sneaking videos that's one of the most death-defying things I've ever heard. Yeah. Like doing from the donuts into the filming. Like you guys, as an American, you're dangerous.
A rich American.
But that wasn't even the scariest. Wait, that wasn't even the scariest part, right? So one of the things that I was doing over there, I was helping these kids figure out how to do business, right? Because there was always communist country, Soviet Union, right? And they didn't know what profits or business was, but they had a lot of good computer people. And so I got connected through somebody in Dallas to this company over there, and I went to meet them, and they had this incredible office right in the cool part of town, right next to the Bolshoi Ballet. I mean, just high-end real estate. All of a sudden, it's like, and they open the door, and there's this guy with no neck, fingers like as big as my face, and pinky rings, right? Tattoos everywhere. And I couldn't understand. My Russian wasn't good enough to understand what this dude was saying. But they said, Mark, you got to help us get our stuff out of here. We got to go now. The mafia just decided that they were going to take over that office, and they just booted them out.
Holy shit.
I mean, Russia back then was the wild, wild west. It was crazy.
So were you like grabbing printers, like billionaire Cuban?
Grabbing printers, grabbing everything, just helping them, and just leaving it outside, right? And I'm just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys are on your own, dude. I'm out the window.
I don't want to know how this. Yeah, I do not want to know how this story.
Just go party in like South Beach, Mark. Just go somewhere safe. There's champagne and girls everywhere, right? You have to be in Moscow.
Oh my God, yeah, it was crazy.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that, what'd you do when you got rich? I fucking partied. That's what I did. I enjoyed it, man.
Like a rock star. I mean, my goal was to have drinks with as many people in as many countries as I possibly could. And I was really good at it. like my guys would be like, okay, you got that lifetime pass in America. Because when I sold my company, Micro Solutions, we all went out and did this big steak dinner, got torched. And it was one of these old school steakhouses that had the phones, way back when you used to plug in a phone, right?
Yeah.
They used to have this deal at all the tables, like, old school. And I saw one of the plugs at the table. I'm like, can I get the phone? Barely can talk. And I called American Airlines. And I remember the number because I would fly so much. I'm like, yeah, did you guys have lifetime passes? And I'm like, let me connect you to the Air Pass department. I'm like, they truly exist.
Maybe, you know what? Even if they didn't, I think they would have been like, well, make one from Mark Cuban. I don't know, whatever.
So I bought one. It cost me the $125,000. It was like $125,000 for like 50,000 miles a year for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Right. And so all I had to do was show up to any airport, any American Airlines flight, and I could take me and anybody else. Just get on and go, and they would have to kick somebody off.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. So obviously, like, I'd go into a club, hey, let's go to Vegas, right? Or, just with my friends, we went to the Olympics, Madrid, London, wherever, you name it.
What is the most, like, impulsive, you're in a club, you grab a girl or a buddy, and you say, like, fuck it, let's go?
We went, this is 1992, because I sold my... Way back when we went to the 92 Olympics, the Dream Team.
Oh, shit.
Dude, that was an impromptu decision.
You got to go see the Dream Team on a whim.
My buddy Mark Stahl was like, we got to go. And I'm like, okay. So because it didn't really cost me anything. It gets even better, right? It gets even better because we buy tickets outside. We get in, they seat us at the seats, and then somebody comes up, has the exact same ticket. And turns out we bought counterfeits, but they were really cool to us. They put us in the press area. So we actually got better seats, and we got to see against Lithuania, I think it was. Dude, it was unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, I don't think I've ever, I know for a fact, I've never talked to anybody or even known anybody who saw the Dream Team live. It's just something
that's because you don't know enough old people.
I got a question for you. Do you ever get sick of doing rich stuff? I don't
understand.
Do you ever just want to slum it for the night?
I don't understand the
question. Wait. Before we get into that, what's like the most non-rich person thing you do? Do you still eat like easy mac and cheese or something like that?
Oh yeah, no. So I like cheese grits that I get in the little craft thing where I put in a little water, put it in the microwave.
Okay.
So somebody asked me to do like, let's go to a fancy dinner. There, it was like this reporter. I'm like, only if it's IHOP. Literally, I hate going to fancy restaurants. The people at IHOP know me. Literally, if we walked into IHOP right now, they'd be like, no big deal. They see me there all the time.
So then,
that's what I mean. Like like when I go out, I like to just be in like a dark bar and like just like in like a basement bar and like you do that.
Oh no, I hate, like I was telling these people, like I don't want to get dressed up. I don't want to deal with the fanciness of it all. You know, the whole like, let me put the napkin on your lap, right? And like me being terrified, I don't know which spoon or fork to use first. You know, still to this day, you would think I would have learned. And like, I'm not going to drink wine, Mr. Cuban, you know, because I feel bad. Like, oh, we'd like for you to sample our best wine. I'm like,
save it.
Mad Dog 2020.
I love it.
Yo, have you ever done, I did this in college once. I don't remember anything that happened afterwards, but we did Mad Dog 2020. You drink half of it, and then you fill it back with vodka.
Oh, man.
No, but let me just tell you what we did do. So at Indiana, the big day was the Little 500, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so it would start at like 7 a.m. And Mad Dog 2020 was like $2.99 for a pint. And so the whole idea was all you had to do, $3, you chug your Mad Dog 2020 and wait 20 minutes.
Yep.
Away you go. And let me just tell you, on Shark Tank, which premieres Friday, October 16th, right on ABC, like when they have, like, when they know they're going to have deals on that require alcohol, right? They'll say, do you have any limits or things, or do you have any food allergies or stuff like that, so no one gets sick? But anytime that, like, if you notice, like when someone comes on and needs to pour wine for whatever reason, every single time it's MD 2020. Logan David, every time, no exceptions.
I mean, that's blackout in a bottle right there. That is great.
Blackout in a bottle. No
Some
doubt
things,
about it.
money can't buy,
No, let me just tell you, I did improve once because as I got better off, like I started off with Boone's Farm and Swisher Sweets. And then I moved up to MD.
Classy.
Yeah. I know my progression.
So I think I already know the answer to this question, but I guess, when people say money can't buy happiness, what do you say to that? Because I feel like you're pretty fucking happy.
No, I agree.
Do you?
Like if you were happy when you were poor, you're going to be a lot motherfucking happier when you're rich. If you're miserable when you were poor, you're probably still going to be miserable. The difference is you don't have to stress. The stress levels are night and day. Like I've had my credit cards cut up, the lights turned off, waiting in line at the utility companies with an excuse on why you should take my check, all that stuff, right? And just not having to worry about anything like that, not even knowing what, my utility bill is at this place. That's the difference.
But
right?
I guess so. You said you did have to go through those things at one point.
Oh hell yeah!
And that's the difference. Absolutely. I think if you're born into it or you inherit it or whatever.
And my kids are never going to know any of that. I try to tell them stories.
What do you do? I mean, I get worried about making sure my kids are not spoiled, and I don't even think I need to worry about that, Mark. when you are a billionaire, I mean, are there any times you are like intentionally not letting them do something or buy something? Yeah.
Oh yeah. All the time. Yeah. All the time. I mean, I make it clear it's my money, not theirs, because that is one of my biggest fears after their health, right? You always worry about their health, but then it's like, I don't want them to be entitled jerks. And I want them to really, recognize the value of work and really enjoy the process of figuring things out for themselves and accomplishing things for themselves. And, my wife and I try to make it really, really clear to them that that's the way it's going to be.
Like, like what you make them buy
kindly to it, but yeah, they get it.
They have to buy their own tickets to Mavericks games.
No, I cut them some slack there.
Right. So when you say, a lot less stress, I would also imagine there's another side to it though, that like I own an NBA franchise. I'm on television show all the time. I have a ton of business interests. I mean, that's got to get stressful, no?
Yeah, there's moments of stress. I mean, look, being famous, just to be honest, has changed over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It used to be all upside. Now, not so much.
Right.
And
a lot of downside.
And so now, and not me, it's not, particular to me. It's just, everybody's paying attention to everybody else and everybody else's business. And so would I change it or trade it? No, hell no. But it's just, things have changed, and that's just the way it goes.
Well, things have changed. You walked by our bar in Miami, and this clown we work with, Brandon Walker, was getting shouted out as a famous.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, at that point, he had worked with us for about a month, so fame can happen overnight. Now the game certainly has changed, but you seem to handle it pretty well, man.
Yeah, it has its ups and downs.
The NBA, obviously a bizarre season, and strangely enough, on top of all the other storylines about LeBron and winning and all that, the ratings. It's just like ratings are down. And first of all, like, who fucking cares? But it seems like the world has, in recent years, ratings has become more of a thing. Would you agree with that, or has it always kind of been?
Not really. I mean, look, it's become a hot button for people trying to prove some type of point.
Correct.
Right.
It's like what people are doing with New York over coronavirus. They're like, it's dead, just because they want to say like this. No, it's not.
They want to say because they want to prove a point that some political point. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it started with Kaepernick, right? And so if Kaepernick, if ratings were down and then guys were kneeling, right? So it must be because of that. They don't pay attention to anything else going anywhere else. Right? They don't look at this TV show and say, right, the star of this TV show said X, Y, and Z, where are their ratings at, right? And a lot of it, because most of our players are black. Most of the NFL is black, right? And so when they take a stand, then someone's going to raise hell. And it's just that's just the way it is. And so you just ignore those idiots.
Is there a reason you think that ratings were down? Is it just
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of reasons the ratings were down. First, I mean, look, you got every professional sport playing at the same time.
That's what we were saying. We couldn't even keep track. Like I walked by the TV yesterday. I was like, wait, the fucking ALCS is on right now at 3 o'clock on a Monday?
Thing, right? Yeah. The other night was NLCS, right? I didn't even know, right? And second, we get into new habits now. There are as many Netflix subscribers as there are people who have cable or satellite, right? And so all of our games so people just have more choices, right? And you get into your habits and you're not necessarily breaking away. 3, like particularly before the finals, all of our games were on cable. And the reality is there's fewer people watching cable, and our best audience is Gen Z and younger millennials, right? They just love the NBA, and you see it on social, but they don't even have the cord. They never had the cord, right? So they don't have.
Yeah, you didn't even cut it. You just never even fucking had it.
That's a question.
That's exactly right.
When I watch, like right now, I don't have cable, and it's just because Spectrum hasn't come to set it up yet. But so when I watch on the ESPN app or on the ABC app, am I counted as a viewer?
Depends on how and where. I'm not even exactly sure.
Yeah, but that's a good point. That it's like, who knows what even
number
they're looking
want to say it's all about the politics. Look, horse racing was way down. You can't tell me the horses were woke. If you look across the board, the NFL is down not as much as we were, but Stanley Cup was down huge. Baseball was down. The NLCS. So it doesn't matter. You watch the game, enjoy the game, and all these idiots that are trying to say, well, we don't want to connect politics and sports. If you watch the game, right, there's no politics there. And I see Black Lives Matters on the court. You can't even read. You won't even know our sponsors, right? It's an excuse.
That's also just such bullshit. Politics have been intertwined with sports forever. And we stand for the national anthem before the game. That's fucking politics. That's sports.
It's like, so Ted Cruz was trying to give me shit about something online on Twitter, right? And then, don't want to connect politics and sports. And to your point, right? Then he posts a video of Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And I'm like,
I saw that where you're like, he doesn't even understand the irony or whatever you said.
The irony of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Jesse Owens running in front of Hitler. Like there are iconic moments in sports that were entirely based on politics.
Miracle on Ice is all,
right? Miracle on Ice.
Exactly, right? The whole
Dream
thing,
team,
right?
I mean, everything. It's crazy. And the last thing I would worry about, probably out of any sport, is the popularity. I mean, the NBA, it's so star-driven, and there's so many stars. How good does it feel when you've got a guy like Luka?
Oh my God.
I mean, and it's not like, he was a high draft pick. It's not like you snuck him in the second round or anything crazy. But, some other people passed on him, And as he goes and grabs the Larry O'Brien, I mean,
I would show him this guy, right? I want a whole bunch more of these. I want us to catch up to all these other guys.
He is so unbelievable to know that it's just like, yep, we chose right, and we've got him for the next, 15 to 20. That has got to feel
with
good.
The technology and the medicine today, I mean,
25.
Just a little bit of luck. Yeah. He can play for a long time.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's a guy like you would do absolutely anything to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If there was no salary cap, how much would you pay Luka?
Everything I could.
Yeah. If he said to you, I want $75 million a year, would you give it to him?
Probably, unless there was some crazy reason why I couldn't, right? That's just the way the salary cap's structured. The very, very top 5 players in the league are underpaid.
Yeah.
Maybe top 10. That's just the way the nature of it. But what makes it work isn't just his talent. He's just such a good guy, man. Mm-hmm. Such a good, down-to-earth guy that appreciates everything he's gotten and knows he's got to bust his ass to keep up, and to stay ahead. And he's just hysterical. He's fun to hang out with, and that he's just his own person. He really is a good guy.
And on the other side of the spectrum, Delonte West is kind of been granted this second shot. Talk to me about that. What was the motivation for that move?
I mean, we've tried to help Delonte many times over the years since he last played for the Mavs in 2012 or whatever. But I just had seen pictures of him and a video of him panhandling, but it was only 2 miles away from my house.
Oh, man.
And so it was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to go drive around and look for him. And I couldn't find him. And then I'd been trying to reach his mom, and mom called me back and said, Delonte is going to try to reach you. And he did. And I said, D West, tell me where you're at. Don't move. And that's when I went to pick him up and took him to a hotel. And his mom came, and we got him into rehab in Florida, and now he's doing well. Now, I'll break some news. Like, you saw the one picture I posted. They sent me a picture this morning of him skydiving.
Dude, we just saved your life last week. Come on, Delonte.
Stay in a bubble, man.
They're like, he's got to, as part of his rehab, he's got to develop trust and connections to people, and you got to trust when you're skydiving with somebody.
Wow, the ultimate way.
I'm so proud of him. But look, the hard work is just starting for him. The first couple of weeks are tough, but now we'll see what happens from there, and hopefully he can stay with it. He's a good guy, got a great heart.
Why do you think someone like you? It's so rare to have an owner with such a kinship with his players. Like the way you just lit up, like talking about Luka, the way you I'd give him everything. Your connection with Delonte. I feel like in sports that's pretty rare to see the owner have that kind of bond.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good owners in the NBA that would have done the same thing. I have no doubt. But I just like it. I'm a ball is life guy. I'm not a sit upstairs. Like after I'm done here, my kind of clear my head. My wife takes yoga. I'll go shoot. I'll get out there and get up shots. Right. Mm-hmm. When we're playing in regular world, before every home game, I'm getting up shots. And I think, so, and I'm, around the guys, and you get to know them, and they respect the fact that I respect them as professionals and as people. And when you're around somebody that much, you talk to them, right? And so it's just normal.
Wouldn't ask you to speak bad of anybody or throw them under the bus, but I am a Knicks fan. And when you look at the Knicks franchise and the ownership, which I would say is kind of the polar opposite of a situation like yours or Ballmer or some of the owners who are really into it, what's just the perception of the Knicks franchise from other owners and yourself around the league?
Look, I like Jimmy Dolan. I mean, he's always really cool to me, straight up, And look, he made, you can argue about different moves, but bringing on Leon Rose was super smart. Mm-hmm. I mean, Leon Rose is one of the best in the business. In order to be successful in the NBA when he was an agent, you had to go through Leon Rose. And so I think, that move alone was strategic and smart and will pay off dividends.
What's one other thing? Let's say tomorrow somehow you switched. You were the owner of the New York Knicks. What's the first thing you would do to try to turn that team around?
I mean,
pay Luka $75 million.
Yeah, right. No,
kidnap him.
Be patient.
Yeah.
Look, we sucked for 3 years, right? And let me just tell you, it's not because I wanted to suck. It's because we had to hope to get lucky.
Yeah.
And even when we, traded to be able to draft Luka, you think you're right, but no one ever drafts anybody thinking you're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
It takes luck. if you go down the list of top players with, even LeBron came and went to multiple places.
Right.
But, the Greek Freak, fell to 15. Kawhi fell to 11. You just don't know if it's more art than science. So you just got to be patient and hope you get a little bit lucky.
All right, we got a game here. We're going to wrap up with a couple questions. It's called Answer the Internet. It's questions that our fans have called up with over the years, or some of the questions from the deep, dark corners of the Internet. So Mark Cuban here is going to answer the Internet. Take it away, Johnny.
Okay, let's see. We'll go rapid fire with you here since we're almost out of time. At what age or moment do you officially become a man?
13. I don't know. No, for the first. I should say the first time. Yeah. The first time your mom tells you, looks at your laundry and says, "Stop, you'll go blind."
Great answer.
Okay, you're a 3-headed monster and get to select the other 2 heads. The first head is one of your idols. The second head is a person you hate. Who are you picking?
First head is Ted Turner. I always looked up to him because he went hard, was successful, and did it right. Second, Donald Trump.
Yeah. That's a 3-headed monster right there.
I would start to hate someone else just so I could. I'd be like, I don't even need. The hate is too strong to have that. I gotta have someone else. Okay, are you smarter than Christopher Columbus was?
Think about it.
I hope so, man, because he got lost.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I said. Like he doesn't go the right way. He landed here, thought he was in India.
He got lost.
If you found out your life was the Truman Show, what would you be most proud that people saw, and what would you be most embarrassed about?
Hopefully, the way I treated my kids and my relationship with my kids, and most embarrassed. My wife is telling me I'm going to go blind.
Great answer. Great answer. We'll wrap it up.
If you could open a school of life to learn real-life valuable things.
This is a great question from Mark Cuban.
What would you teach?
There's so many things that we don't get taught that we should be taught instead of,
I think just teaching people how to, that's a great question. I think, just the fact that learning is good, right? That it's not so much what you learn, it's just that you want to keep on learning things. Depends on how old the kids are, right? So let's just say they're high school kids. I mean, just getting people excited about learning, because that's what opens up every door, because the world's always changing. And if you're not able to change, if you're not agile, then you're not gonna make it forward. And you got to be someone who likes to learn.
Learning how to learn kind of is a lesson in its own right. You got to know how to do it, right?
That's literally the best skill you can have in life, I think, because there's always something new, always somebody to learn from, always something to get better at. And if you just think, this is just it, then that would suck. Yeah, that would really suck.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for the time. The new season of Shark Tank is out.
October 16th, Friday night.
Friday nights on ABC, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Thank you, man. Really
appreciate it,
man. It's always a blast.
Great to see you.
See you.
Bye.